Hello, I'm going to eat this giant salad. I just went to Whole Foods and I got, it's right across the street from the club that I work at. And it's a nutritarian based bowl, meaning it's got like, I don't know, I guess if you break down like, what was it? Like basically you want beans, greens, berries. Oh, it's called the G-Bombs. And it's pretty much plant-based. I'll show them. I love tomatoes. But I'm in a parking garage right now and just got out of the Whole Foods, so I'm still in their parking garage. That was tofu. But I've been plant-based predominantly for almost 4 years now. And greens like kale are huge factors as your like filler foods that have a high concentration of nutrition density. Oh my god. So I'd probably say a good 70% of this volume is from kale and spinach. But my name is Mariah. I dance in Chicago, Illinois. I have been a dancer since I was 18 on and off. I'm also becoming a tattoo artist right now. So a lot of my resources are kind of going into making that happen, which feels good. Because for a long time, it seemed like a long road because all the things that I would want to do outside of dancing seemed just like so far out of reach. Whereas it feels right. Like from a young age, you know, my parents would have me drawing circles. My nickname was Doodlebug, you know. But enough about me. How is everyone today? I hope this food video, so I don't want to talk with my mouth open, brings joy and peace and makes you feel like you're not alone as you eat your meal. I believe my YouTube has my Instagram. I wish I could just like bend these back, because I think there's just like a whole beauty to seeing a big juicy salad being dug into. I also model, but it's not like, you know, we're not talking like runway. We're talking like, you know, boudoir, or, you know, for a company, like small businesses sometimes want me to model for like a bikini line or an eyeglass line or a goth brand or something along those lines. I'm 26 now. I have no children. I don't even have a cat anymore. This has, I'm just gonna just kind of vaguely list. This has kale, spinach, arugula, cucumber, edamame, olives, chickpeas, zucchini, sunflower, almond, tomato, roasted mushroom. The dressing is just like teriyaki. I mixed it. I just teriyaki and this like white sauce that I couldn't remember what it was. And then I added vinegar and then olive oil. Cars keep driving by. I think a salad was like $33. But health is wealth right now, so cheers. I really love this club because it's right across the street from Whole Foods. Like, y'all don't even know what that does to me. Oh, here comes some people just staring at me. Good, they drove off. I'm really working on realism as my median that I like, my main median, or like not median, but my main like style is that's kind of like right now where I'm at. It can evolve, you know, you're always allowed to evolve and change and grow and become something that you want, you know, down the road. But right now, that's what aligns with me and what feels good. It's what I can focus on. I'm extremely ADHD. I was medicated, but I don't know. I go back and forth, and I know this is probably not the best thing, but I don't know. There were times that I kind of needed to reset and clarity because I felt like I was on a lot of things and I didn't know really what I needed. Like there was some, like I have pretty good BMI and health and just overall, and I was on blood pressure medication, and I know things can multi-treat, but I don't know. It didn't feel right. I want to just kind of eat healthy, work out, create a healthy balance internally, and then take a step back and kind of, you know, go seek professional opinion after I have that reset. Because I had a lot of traumatic things in my life, and when I was being assessed, I had a lot of external things that were going on that didn't quite make I feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they come to like a conclusion. My diagnosis, like, I'm not disagreeing with the diagnosis. I'm just worried about like the amount of medication they were giving me. And it's crazy because sometimes, you know, I'm my only person that pushes myself right now. So, that, and you guys, you know, obviously social media, believe it or not, is a huge push at times when I need it, because I've created somewhat of a little bubble of community on my Instagram and my TikToks and just Facebook and all of it. I'm trying to build something on here because I feel like I've had an online presence for some time, but I just never get a chance to really expand into YouTube, and I know YouTube is transitioning, so I want to transition with it. I love fresh food. So yum. Y'all just saw me do it like the meanest face. I don't like it when people stare at me. It's rude. I would never, like, personally, a lot of my spirals, I guess, derive from if I would do it. So, like, and I know that's, like, a very inward thought, but, like, after analyzing my whys, I feel like a lot of the reasons, like, I'll death stare people is because, like, I don't just stare at people off the front end. I would never do that. I think that's so rude. And like, so I think when I can't rationalize something on the other end is when I, like, you know, take a step, like like kind of thing. So it just, especially when I see like a mom, when I see like a Karen or a mom just kind of like staring at me, I'm like, I'm not staring at you. I'm not even like, don't be rude. You have children. Like, girl. It's so good. Oh, I also have carrots and radish in this. It's crazy to think 2 years ago, I had no tattoos. Now I have my whole body done. I'm gonna use these videos that I'm gonna start uploading as reasons to like look forward to having a meal or a healthy one, or talk about something that I wouldn't mind entertaining in a more outward way. So, do you guys want to know like the life of a stripper? I feel like America, like, it goes so much state by state on like what you can wear and what you cannot wear in the club. Like, certain clubs you can just wear a G-string thong, you know, other clubs you have to wear booty shorts, like, you know. And I'm pretty bottom, I have a tiny waist, but I'm bottom heavy, so shorts go right up in between, you know, so it looks just like a thong. Know what I'm saying? See, that elderly gentleman over there just looked at me, smiled, and then looked away. Super understandable, reasonable. There's a level where when, like, I just would never just stare at someone on the front end to make them feel uncomfortable. Like, not knowing them, no context, like, just profiling them and just staring at them. That's so rude. There's one thing, and I used to think it was because, you know, just a younger girl, a younger attractive woman. Like, I feel like at times that's why, but also, like, do you really think it's not creepy to just continue to stare? Like, if your eyes are lingering, that is so creepy. Like, I can't rationalize that. Like, why are you doing, do you really think that that's gonna make a girl come up to you? When I get back, I'm gonna have to do realism school, and I'm super excited about it. I've been practicing on fake skin. This Jeep that's going by, she just like stared at me. Stop being rude, y'all. Like, damn. Not y'all, but no. Y'all are allowed to, you know, like, I'm wanting this conversation. Don't let them. They're not allowed. I'm trying to make the cover. Those mushrooms slap. Well done, Whole Foods. It's currently 11:30 here. So the goal is to ingest all this volume and then let my body, by the time I go in at 4, my body will be good. I lean out so much on this, and I'm already pretty lean as an individual, especially as a short girl. I'm only 5'1", and I'm like, I don't want to talk about like exact weight, but I'm not like, I'm a probably traditionally sized fit for my height. But this cuts me like I'm calorie restricting, but you can see I just bought this. I got edamame beans in this. God, my roots are so yellow. I need to tone my hair. I need a good hairstylist. Really bad. Just stain my lips. It's a beet. Just stain it. I used to be married, but no, I'm not. And during that time frame, I didn't dance. And so I went to school for human physiology and nutrition. The person I was with was very ill at the time. And I pretty much learned how to cook and just have the most healthiest, the most disease preventative lifestyle in my own research that I could possibly do for me and that person. So like, now I'm very, very, very just like ingrained, like it's just ingrained in me, like my taste. But I really do feel like my microbiome, I did it for like multiple years consistently. I feel like my microbiome has adjusted to being a certain way. So like now when I eat healthy food, my body's like, yeah, like I crave healthy food like people crave pizza, you know? And it was not always like that. There was a transition period. I did feel lethargic for time. I don't know. We can go into, if you guys are interested, leave in the comments below. Let me know if you really are intrigued in like the transition period, what it was like, how my body went through it. You know, if you want to see documentation of the stages, you know, because even if you aren't a bigger person, you can definitely still have changes. Even if your weight barely fluctuates, if you change your diet into more of a healthy plant-based GBOM oriented one, I personally have dealt with this, where my body just started to get, like my muscles, I felt like looked better, and I have pictures that compare them, and yeah, they do. But everyone's different. But that was my take. Shout out to Joel Fuhrman's Eat to Live. He's an MD, but very, very health conscious man. I think he's in his 80s now. 80s or 70s. I'm so happy! I really have been meaning to like post on here, but I don't know. I'm just gonna start with food videos. I should have got broccoli. But I do this because it helps me stay in shape. The club that I work at is technically a cabaret, and so they do prefer you rather petite. And I personally have a tendency to, even when I'm not implementing a high protein diet, I get very, very muscular naturally. And my body type, I forgot the name of it, but it's more prone to that. So like, I personally don't eat a high protein diet. And I look like I have a protein shake every day. Yeah. But if you think about it, if you're comparing calorie to calorie, kale actually does have quite a high amount of protein. If you're compare quinoa or chickpeas, if you're comparing protein or like calorie to calorie, like versus, you know, just a normal like bag of chips or something like that. It's been a minute since I've like been on my stuff, but so don't quote me on anything. It's so good. Water. Let me know if you guys want me to do like something where I'm like in the club. I think I'm gonna do a podcast where I'm gonna have like dancers, and they have a lady up there that assists the girls, and we call her mom. It's kind of like an international across the board term that's used in clubs for like the one mom, the woman that's up there. A lot of times she's older, not always, and she kind of just is almost like the mom figure for the girls when they get ready, you know. She's always like, so I've never met a bad mom. Like, I love them. I didn't have like the best mother figure just due to a lot of stuff, but I had a great father figure, and my parents are still together. That's the crazy part. I just got like a carry mom, you know what I mean? You don't even know what I mean. So having a house mom, we can also, I think a conversation, y'all leave in the comments below questions that you might have for the podcast, but I think a conversation with entertaining is relationships. I personally am not in a relationship, but I do think that it is worth entertaining the conversation around dynamics, dancers, and partners, healers, all that. It's very important. See, like 10 cars drove by. Not one of them were staring at me. I'm not really religious, but I'd consider myself very conscious of energy. You know, not to be like that person, but yeah, I'm that person. But I'm not a dick about it, you know? Same thing with being plant-based. Like, I can get into facts, but at the end of the day, you do you. I think a good question to ask is like how dancers learn the skills and how they travel. Like, I'm a traveling dancer too, so a lot of times I'll find a main club or one or two main clubs in two different areas, and I'll alternate between the two pending the time of the year. Like here in Chicago, we have a lot of business around, like, I think they just had like this big international medical thing, so we had like a lot of people from the medical field. We also have a lot, like this week we have NASCAR, you know, so like there's just a lot of things that I think in different areas, you know, like I'm signed in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm signed in Detroit. I'm signed in, now as far as like actively working in the club, I'm specifically in Chicago. But I used to teach aerial fitness, like pole. when I lived in Denver, Colorado. It's such a pretty day out. I'm just gonna see that ball. I love tomatoes. Making a dent, making a dent. I'm so happy. I haven't been able to film, and this is like my first time doing like a whole, I don't know, I want to start connecting with my audience better, you know, rather like, and I want to be able to start kind of giving back at least some form of like energy, or if you can take something from this video and feel knowledgeable or entertained or just something that raises your vibration, then I'm happy, you know. Literally two different colors. I know people say don't bring attention to that, but I'm doing it. I don't know if that's like an ADHD thing or just like an insecurity thing or what, but like anytime I notice a flaw, I'd rather point it out before other people do. Does anyone else like legit like eating in their car? For me, it feels like a safe space. Or like one thing I think there's not enough discussion about is like tight fitting clothing. And I think a lot of people that are neurodivergent, we all have our own little idiosyncrasies, but like mine specifically is I like to feel like hugged, or like for instance in my car, I like small spaces. I like to feel compacted, and like it just, when I wear tight like body armor or something, I feel hugged, you know, and so I like that feeling. So I wear, and it looks good on me, you know, like it looks good on a lot of people, but I like the feeling. It's a win-win for me. And I think a lot of people don't consider that as even a variable as to why someone might be wearing something like that. But, and don't get me wrong, like I do enjoy looking good in it. However, this is also an additional as to why like I dress the way I dress, is because I really do like feeling like I'm secure, you know, like make me feel like I am in a James Bond snow scene, you know, like in a tight little ski suit, and I'm in heaven, you know. Just give me that hot toddy. Let me know what angle you guys want me to kind of talk about, as I have a lot of things to talk about around mental health. Starting a conversation there, starting a conversation with health, starting a conversation with dancing, starting a relationship even with home renovation, because I do own a lake property in Indiana. So I'm trying to like renovate that to the best of my abilities, but it's been kind of hard. I don't like, between that, oh, and then you guys want me to have a conversation around my entire career, like tattooing. I'm really trying to transition out of dancing just so I can get into tattooing full force. Follow my Instagram so you can kind of see that process. Do you guys want to see stuff around my modeling? I feel like I do a lot of things, and there's a lot of mistakes that I had made along the way around trusting people or pursuing things at certain times. And I don't think, had I had someone like me to watch, I think I wouldn't have made certain mistakes, because there's one thing between just like hearing something, it's another thing to look up to someone and then have them kind of like say it that you actually want to listen to, or I don't know. I follow a lot of people on here, and I started eating alone because of just, I'm an awkward person. I'm a neurodivergent. So like I struggle. Like even now I feel like everyone's staring at me, you know, and it's not like, oh, I think I'm better than everyone, as much as just like, I feel like instantly people judge me on the front end. And it's not so much as I care really what they have to say, as much as just like their energy when they invade mine, it just makes me want to like, you know, it drains me. So it's easier for me to just kind of sit in a controlled environment and eat alone, in my opinion. There's a man walking up to my car. That was awkward. You can even see him. I think my biggest issue with eating in public, I'm gonna sound so bad, but I don't like opening my mouth and like looking up and seeing someone across the room just like, you know, it makes me so uncomfortable. And like, yeah, that would make any, like, because even being neurodivergent, I have to reflect and be like, okay, is that like a me thing, or is that like I have a right to feel kind of like weirded out by that? That's a weird thing, okay? Like, people just staring at someone eating, like, you're being a perv, okay? Like, stop it. And I want to say that so bad, but the minute I do it, low-key double standard. Because I feel like there's certain people, like when they speak, a lot of people listen. And some people attract attention a lot more than others. Even before my tattoos. And when I'm dressed like a homeless person. I have noticed, I know Chicago has a lot of homeless, but like Denver is just ridiculous. Like Denver has so many homeless people. It's so sad, but like here there's not, and I know like everyone here from Chicago is gonna be watching this, be like, yeah, what are you talking about? There's a lot of people in Denver, like for just streets upon streets upon streets, you know, just, it's really bad. Here it's a little bit more controlled, you know, and I hope they have some kind of thing. I mean, maybe that means that there's less people, or they're helping their homeless more here. I don't know. I feel like when things got legalized in Colorado, I think everyone flocked there that didn't think things through completely, and so now they just have like this large concentration of just like people that don't really have a lot going on. If we're going to talk mental health, I think understanding something that's genetic versus external variables and trauma that has changed the way your brain's developed is a whole conversation itself. Coping with that in a strip club is another conversation of all its own, you know. I did this community event on the Lear. Shout out to Elemento. They're based in Indiana. They're a metaphysical shop. I have them tagged all over my Instagram if you just follow the Insta. But like they had this event and they hosted it and they asked me to perform for it. So I did this Lear. It's those like hoops. And it was nice. It was a nice transition to a form of entertainment that wasn't as sexualized. If you guys want me to like blog in the club during certain time, I can probably make that happen. If you guys want to see, like, let me know, like, if you want to know, like, my traveling, how my traveling goes, a day in my life, like, I want to know what my audience is. You know, I think I kind of know, but I also want to transition something into a podcast, you know. My roots look so yellow. Stray Hood Rat Energy, what's up? I've grown up in so many different walks of life and had such a crazy voyage already in my life to where it started and how it's going. You wouldn't even believe. That's why I do think a podcast is needed. I was so happy. I showed up yesterday because I hadn't danced in Chicago for a minute because I just left Indianapolis. And everyone was so warm and so welcoming and loving, and like management, the girls, like everyone. Like I love you guys. But like they were also open to a podcast, and I'm like, oh my God, like I love this, because here it's such like a legitimate job that, like, you know, the girls do take care of their bodies. They are health conscientious. They are, you know, investing their money in a lot of ways, you know, in things that benefit them long term. You know, there's just a lot of residual healthy decisions in this club, which I think is so awesome. I think social media has kind of perpetuated that too, because now you can monetize it. Excuse me, some water. So I have this sign of medicine on my back from the top all the way down to my booty. And sorry, that man just he just stared at me, so I stare back. It's one thing if someone's just like glancing and like just like, you know, just looking, you know, and then looks away. It's another thing they're like stop doing that. I'm so tired of that. Like, oh my God, even when I'm on my medication, I know there's certain things that people do. It's just so rude. Like, did y'all's mamas not teach you? Like, I mean, I might have had a little messed up kidhood, but like, my problem was that I had an extremely religious mother. And she went from being like a pagan to like being super religious. And then someone just pulled up next to me. And then like I would wake up to like holy water being thrown on me, and obviously a lot of the physicalities that come with a lot of the Christian background when it's warped. I'm not saying Christianity is warped. I'm saying like some people can warp it and like use it to validate abuse, especially to children. So there you go. But I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, but yeah, let me know what you want to talk about. Because I think I have a pretty interesting life. I travel across the country quite a bit for my job, for art. You know, like art is what I live and breathe pretty much. Like whether it's dancing, makeup. I've done makeup for runway. Makeup for runway. I have walked some fashion shows, but nothing, like I said, I'm short, so smaller ones. And you know, there's just a lot of things that I've had happen in my life, you know, that have kind of made me an individual that is very, I wouldn't say well-rounded, but I've kind of tasted a lot of things, you know. Like the salad. I even went to flight school. Yeah, I almost got my private pilot's license. And then they were like, okay, you just need to get your medical. I went to a doctor and he was like, oh, I see that you were ADHD in high school. You need to go get reassessed. And like, he was like, because if you're still ADHD, I can't let you fly a plane. This was like after, you know, a large, like 10 grand had been invested into this. I was flying and landing planes. I had obviously a co-pilot, but I had, I think, like 20 hours to get my private's license. And like, this was in Montana. Man, they revoked it because of my ADHD. I was like, you guys couldn't have told me that from the front end. Like, I would have loved to have invested that into something else, you know? We're making a dent. We're making a dent, baby. I wish I had blue eyes. Everyone in my family has blue eyes but me. And my mom. Funny enough. But my siblings have blue eyes. My dad has blue eyes. I feel like with my eye shape, it would have made him look like super just cool. But I'm learning to love mine. Leave a comment below. Tell me your eye color. And also let me know where you guys are from, because like if you're still hanging on 42 minutes into the video, leave a comment. Leave a black cat emoji. I'm trying to make this video under an hour. This is literally all I'm gonna eat today. I should probably have a soup, but I don't know. I honestly, because binge eating is real, you know, like I said, I fell off for a little bit. And I wouldn't say I have a disorder because I haven't been properly diagnosed in that way. I don't want to self-diagnose, but I do binge if there's not like a place to get like a salad or something. Like when I'm hungry, so like I will just, a lot of times I'll go to Taco Bell and I'll get the Nacho Bel Grande with the vegan cheese, and then I will get the black beans as substitute for the meat, no sour cream, and I'll add guacamole and then have them add lettuce to that. Man, that's fire. I love it. Or I'll go get like, you know what they need to make? They need to make a Nacho Bel, or not, they need to make like a plant-based birria taco, but I don't know even how that's possible, because like a lot of that like je ne sais quoi comes from like, I think the basing of like that juice. But I don't know, if you think about it, a lot of like, if you were to eat just like a plain piece of meat, no seasoning, I don't think it would be, other than like the iron and like the mineral taste itself, I think a lot of like the reasons why people like meat is because of the seasonings that they put on it, you know, and it almost emulates like natural food, like fruit and veggies. And I mean, meat is natural, but like it's almost like, I mean, like you think about it, like teriyaki is like a sweet and salty, like you have a lot of savory veggies. You have a lot of organically, naturally, like you bite into them as is. You have a lot of sweet fruit. You know, like our brain runs on glycogen. There's a reason why ketosis and ketones only come out after a certain time frame, you know, as a last resort, essentially. I think predominantly that's why we can have high carb intakes and, you know, higher than any other macro. Mm. Mm. I need a massage therapist. I need a boyfriend that's a massage therapist. That's what I need. That doesn't mind giving massages. Because, like, in my profession, and this is a conversation for the podcast, but in my profession, when I'm home, I don't want to give anyone a lap dance. Because I have to do that all the time to everyone in the club. So I can only imagine as a massage therapist, you wouldn't want to, like, have to do a whole nother, like, massage, unless that's your organic love language. I see dancing as a service, and I don't like doing services unless I have to, you know? And that's just me knowing myself and knowing who I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's just not what you are, that's not what you are, you know? That's why you have compatibilities, and you have gives and yings and yangs, because where you fall short in one way, someone might pick up the pace in the other, and vice versa, you know? But yeah, I don't want to give someone a lap dance after I've been dancing all night and all that, so I can only imagine giving someone a massage. Also, I don't know how some of y'all be massaging people with your nails long as hell, because my nails, I think, they're decently long, you know, they're not like crazy. You have to understand, I'm coming from a dancer background, so I see like some like long bougie nails, but I think a lot of times, like, you have people that like are massaging and they got these like long ass, I'm like, how are you doing that? Like, can you show me please? Because, like, are you using your knuckle? Like, what are you guys doing? Your elbows, you know? But like, then I get the dudes are like, oh, you're not getting accurate. Like, okay, then I'll stop. Okay. I can do like a house tour, or like a get ready with me. I can do a get ready like home edition, and then a get ready with me dancer edition, and get ready with me model edition, like before a photo shoot. That would be sickening. And then when I'm tattooing, I kind of look either like a hot little like alt girl, or I look like a little dungeon troll, you know? It depends how much the other artists, not other artists, like how, like if I feel like I don't want people staring at me, and I don't like, it's so funny, the more comfortable I am, the more homeless I look. And I know, like, that sucks, because, like, obviously, like, you want to get to know a girl and then, like, make her feel pretty. And I've had to be conscientious of that, too. Damn, everyone coming by has, like, the most snatched side profile. And, like, they're all older. Like, they're all, like, over the age of, like, 48 or 45 or some shit. But, like, snatch the house, honey. Like, what? I can also talk about, like, you know, procedures and all kinds of things cosmetically, you know, and my take on that. I think that's a podcast conversation, you know. Coming fall. I wish I had 2 dimples. I literally have 1. See? There's like not anything there. I do want to get better because, like, I struggle between, like, feeling like, oh, I'm gonna 100% feel like myself and stuff around other people, and then so, like, I look like a dungeon troll sometimes. But, like, when I put the shoe on the other foot, I would want a partner to look good for me sometimes, you know? Like, I want them obviously to feel like it's a compliment for them to be in their comfy homeless clothes, you know? But, like, at the same time, I think I want them to look cute sometimes. But that's why you plan dates. That's why you plan formal dates, not just like, oh, let's go to the movie. Like, no, that's why. Let's go to the opera, girl. Okay? Like, I want to go see an orchestra, girl. Sometimes me though, when I find someone attractive, like, I actually retract myself, especially in the beginning stages. Like, I avoid them because I feel so awkward, and I know I talk a lot, so, like, I avoid them so, like, they don't know the real me. But I'm like, I'm just to the point in my life where I'm like, okay, I talk a lot, like, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, it's just something that I had to learn other people don't like. And so, not other people, other partners, I think, because for, like, social media, it really benefits me a lot. But, you know, when some people can't decompress when they hear someone talking a lot. And as a neurodivergent, I attract other neurodivergents, and they feel the need, you know, like, so I guess ending conversations, especially when you don't know the person, is so difficult. You almost feel the need to keep giving energy until, like, you see that they have gained something from you, and then you feel like, okay. But a lot of times, like, especially neurodivergents, they're doing the same thing, so you don't really get anywhere other than just being both drained. Okay, well, I'm gonna go and finish my salad. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I will talk to you later. Bye!